While handing out flyers, I saw her, my girlfriend, Alicia disheveled, wrapped in a passionate kiss with the school hunk inside a sleek sports car. My steps slowed. My hand trembled as I knocked on the window. The guy rolled it down and asked, casually, "Who's this?" Leaning against him, Alicia replied coldly, "Just a simp. If you don't like it, I'll break up with him right now." She kissed him again, deeply, and without even sparing me a glance. She turned away. The hunk smirked, licking the spot on his lips where she had kissed him. "Leave," he scoffed. "Beauties only belong to the strong." I clenched my fists but asked calmly, "I don't care about the girl, but tell me, why are you in my car?" The air froze. The hunk stiffened, gripping the steering wheel. "What do you mean, your car? This is my car," I said. I leaned in, opened the glove compartment, and pulled out the registration. "Here, my name's right there. Now tell me, why are you sitting in it? You trying to steal it? I'll call the police." His face flushed red. He jumped out of the car, leaned close, and muttered, "Please don't. My dad's a mechanic. I saw the car at the shop, thought it looked nice, so I borrowed it for a quick spin. Please don't call the cops." I stared at him. "You call this borrowing? This is theft. Since when can repair shops take cars in for maintenance and let others drive them off?" "Bro, I'm sorry," he whispered, head bowed. "Don't call me bro," I sighed. "Let me check the car first." He stood quietly as I inspected the vehicle. That's when I saw a dent on the hood. My chest tightened. "What's this?" I snapped. He panicked. "Not me? Your girlfriend. She wanted to sit on the hood to take selfies. She uploaded a whole set of provocative photos to her Moments feed. You can check." I opened my phone. Nothing. She had blocked me. The hunk quickly showed me the photos. On his phone. There she was, Alicia, posing, flaunting, completely uninhibited. I clicked my tongue. Such bold photos. "Fine, you can go. But I'm keeping these as evidence. You two better prepare for court." His face went blank. "Court? Bro, will it cost a lot?" "Roughly 100,000, I replied flatly. The color drained from his face. He staggered. "But it was her who damaged it. Do I have to pay too?" he pleaded. I rolled my eyes. "Ever heard of joint liability? You're both responsible? Guess your dad worked this whole year for nothing?" The proud school hunk broke down into tears. "That stupid girl," he cried. "I told her it was carbon fiber. Only luxury sports cars have it. The hotter it gets, the more brittle it becomes." But she wouldn't wait. She just had to sit on it for selfies. Now my family's doomed. Couldn't be bothered. Got into my car and called someone to assess the damage. I didn't want to hear him cry, but he kept sobbing. "Why are you the rich one? She told me you work multiple jobs, handing out flyers." I looked him dead in the eyes. "I don't work. Hand out flyers." "Yes, but the stores those flyers promote, they're mine." That wasn't a boast. Just a fact. 72 stores on the pedestrian street, half of them belonged to my family. What's wrong with me handing out flyers for my own businesses? I rolled up the window, tired of his voice. Just then, a message popped up from Alicia. "Since you saw it, let's break up. Don't blame me. Blame your loser parents. I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than laugh on your bicycle while you hand out flyers." I stared at the message, stunned. So I thought, if both the Lamborghini and the bicycle are mine, should she cry or should she laugh? I typed out a reply, "Wait for the court summons." But before I could send it, she blocked me. My God, she really blocked me. She owes me 100,000 in repair costs. And she blocked me? Without thinking, I rushed toward the girls' dormitory. I didn't care about the rules or who saw me. I had only one goal. I was going to Alicia's room. Fortunately, it was early morning, and the dorm hallway was quiet. There weren't many people around. I reached her door, lifted my hand to knock, but then paused. Inside, a woman's voice asked, "Did you really do what I told you?" Alicia's voice replied, "Yes." I lied to him, told him I took the pill. The woman let out a gleeful gasp. That's perfect. I calculated you're so you're most likely to get pregnant these 2 days. That's why I pushed you to go on a date. Once you're pregnant, you can marry into a wealthy family. Alicia sounded unsure. But what if he makes me get an abortion? The woman answered with calm assurance. As long as you're pregnant, I have my ways. He will acknowledge the baby. You even broke up with your boyfriend for him. See if he dares deny it now. I stood frozen. My mind went blank. Alicia. She was willing to go that far. To trap the campus heartthrob with a baby, just to marry rich. I wondered what expression she'd make if she found out that her so-called rich man had stolen my car. I knocked on the door. Alicia opened it and saw me. Her face darkened instantly. Her brows furrowed, lips curled with disgust. I already broke up with you, she snapped. Why are you still pestering me? Being poor isn't a crime, but being poor and shameless is just pathetic. She thought I was there to win her back. That was the last thing on my mind. 2 other girls were in the dorm, her roommates. I knew both of them. Even speak, one of them piped up. Can you stop hindering Alicia from pursuing her happiness? I was stunned. Happiness? Sneaking around in someone else's car, making out behind your boyfriend's back, now considered pursuing happiness? The girl who spoke Eva was Alicia's best friend. I recognized her voice. She was the one encouraging Alicia to get pregnant. I remembered when I had just started dating Alicia. Eva used to scoff at me, saying things like, a man's love is measured by how much money he spends. Because of her constant nagging, I'd given Alicia many gifts, expensive ones. Now, I had come to take those back. Nice. Calmly, we're done. But the phone you're using is mine. Please return it. I didn't mention the sports car. Knowing Alicia, she might shamelessly cling to me if she found out. Better to get my things back first. Alicia crossed her arms and frowned. Tss. You're that kind of guy, Petty. You can't even consider my feelings. I was speechless. Your feelings? After everything you did? You still expect me to care? Eva snorted, covering her mouth with fake surprise. Can't you see what he's doing? Asking for the phone back is just an excuse. He's trying to make things hard for you because he can't accept the breakup. Alicia sneered. Yes. It isn't it. You think if I refuse to return the phone, I'll feel guilty and come back to you. You must have forgotten my new man is rich. She lifted her chin proudly. Eva jumped in. Shh. Don't be afraid, sis. I just checked his Lamborghini is worth millions. Buying you a new phone is nothing for him. Alicia laughed. Fine, I'll return the phone. But let me make one last call so you can see why I left you, so you can understand the difference. Between you and a real man, a difference so wide, you'll never bridge it in your entire life. I wondered if the rich man she was referring to was really that same school heartthrob. I remembered the day I dropped my car off at his family's garage. His dad had sighed and said times were tough, that they were barely making enough to cover the rent. Still, Alicia dialed. Eva leaned in, excited. Put it on speaker. Let him hear for himself. Let him hear how far below you he really is. Alicia nodded on. Put the phone on speaker. To flaunt. To humiliate. And I stood there. Silent. Waiting. As soon as the call connected, Alicia spoke in a soft, pitiful voice. Brother. My boyfriend came to break up with me. He's even asking me to return the phone he bought me. Without it, how will I ever contact you again? But the heartthrob on the other end didn't buy into her act. His voice exploded through the speaker, filled with rage. You damn bitch. Don't ever let me see you again. If I do, I'll beat you every single time. Silence fell like a blade. The line went dead. Alicia stood frozen, staring at her. Phone, speechless. Ava's face paled with shock, but she recovered quickly. In a burst of fury, Eva snatched a book from her bed and hurled it at me. You must have bad-mouthed my best friend downstairs. She screamed. Alicia's face twisted with anger. She trembled with rage. Yeah, you never talked to me like that before. You must have slandered me. How disgusting can you get? I kept my voice calm. I didn't say a word about you. Just give me back my stuff. But Alicia wouldn't let it go. Then why would he suddenly flip on me like that, huh? I didn't respond. How could I explain that the heartthrob was furious because she'd posted seductive selfies, sitting on the hood of my car, causing him to rack up thousands in damages? Considering his family's financial struggles, how could he not be enraged? Eva scoffed. It's exactly why I told you to leave him and chase the heartthrob. Saw right through this poor loser from the start. All he does is play pathetic tricks behind your back. What a disgusting simp. I turned to her, my voice cold. So, you're admitting you encouraged her to betray me? Eva snapped back. Betrayal? My best friend was stuck in a mess, of course. I helped her out. What? Should I have let her sink into marrying you? She'll thank me for the rest of her life. Alicia folded her arms and said icily, Fine, you can have the phone back. But there's one condition. You must apologize to the heartthrob. Admit that you were lying about me. Eva chimed in, spitting venom. Yeah, even if you have to kneel. To clear my best friend's name. I took the phone calmly and said, Why should I apologize for something I didn't do? And we're not even close to being done here. I walked straight into the room and sat down at the desk.
Oh, wait.
Without another word, I started calculating ifs, transfers, everything I had given her throughout our relationship. I wanted it all. Back. Alicia looked stunned. My friends are all here. Shh. We once loved each other. Do you really have to embarrass me like this? I didn't look up. I kept calculating. Suddenly, Eva raised her phone and took a picture of me. With a mocking grin, she hissed, Today I encountered the king of losers. Going to expose you on my socials so hard, you'll be socially dead. I thought she was bluffing until... I pulled out my phone and checked. She'd already posted it. There it was. My photo, plastered across her feed with a cruel caption. Oh my God, girls. Never date a poor guy. The poorer they are, the more drama they cause. My best friend got stuck. With one, it's terrifying. I frowned, biting down the anger. This is a personal matter. Why do you keep bringing up being poor? You might as well tattoo gold digger on your forehead. Eva snorted. Yeah, I do like rich guys. So what, are you jealous? She stepped closer, voice dripping with contempt. If you were rich, you'd be the one insulting me right now, not the other way around. Look at yourself. Just look at your pathetic self. Worked up, Eva marched to the window, flung it open, and pointed outside. Real men drive $1 million Lamborghinis. They're ambitious. They chase success. It's the kind of man a woman like Alicia deserves. Her voice echoed through the dorm like a siren, and I just stood there, watching, listening. Poor losers just sit there crunching numbers, making the girls who once loved them feel sick. Another roommate couldn't stay silent any longer. Alicia, she said firmly, why don't you just pay him back? This whole thing started because of you. Alicia's expression instantly shifted. Her eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Are you taking his side now? Eva cut in with a sneer. Isn't it obvious? You found a guy with a Lamborghini, and now she's jealous? That's why she's insulting you and spreading lies? The roommate's face flushed with anger. Don't accuse me of something I didn't do. I recognized her, Lisa, a quiet, hardworking girl who got by on student loans and scholarships. I remembered once when Alicia, trying to show off, had me buy desserts for the whole dorm. Lisa was the only one who refused, saying she couldn't. Accept something she hadn't earned. That stuck with me. Alicia let out a dramatic sigh. Lisa, I know you're poor. I know you rely on aid to get through school. And it's okay if you resent the rich. But you need to understand being a good person matters more than good grades. Lisa's eyes widened, shocked. Are you saying I'm not a good person? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Lisa, who worked tirelessly and held herself with integrity. Alicia, who had just been kissing a rich guy in a borrowed car right in front of me. Her boyfriend was questioning her character. Eva didn't let up. Her voice was sharp, slicing through the tension. I know you're kind, Lisa. A poor simp girl always lurking in the background pretending to be modest just to catch a guy's attention. You know you'll never get a man in a Lamborghini, so you cling to one who earns $3,000 a month handing out flyers? Lisa's fists clenched as she stood up, furious. I work too. I tutor kids. I earn $2,000 a month. Eva rolled her eyes, full of scorn. To you, even scraps matter. Yesterday, I saw you picking food off the table to eat. You're so poor, you don't even care. Of course you're not picky about men. Lisa's eyes turned red, her voice trembling. The food fell on the table, not the floor. What's so wrong with that? Enough! Alicia's voice cut through the air. She slammed her phone down on the table, her face flushed with rage. You really are a disgrace. Dating you is my biggest regret. Just finish calculating whatever you need to calculate, so I can go explain things to my real boyfriend. Eva rushed to her side, eager to play savior. Don't worry, sis. I'll go with you. We'll clear your name. You'll be the darling of a rich man again. I ignored them. I was done listening. I stayed focused on calculating the money I'd spent in gifts, transfers, every little thing I'd done for Alicia during our time together. Of course I didn't include the repair costs for the car. I knew Alicia too well. If I pressed her too hard, she might shamelessly try to crawl back. When I finally totaled it all, I was stunned. $18,000. In just 1 year of dating, I'd spent that much. I barely used a few hundred a month for my own living expenses, yet here I was, completely unaware of how deep it had gone. Until I saw the numbers, it wasn't just me who was shocked. Alicia and Eva went quiet too. For students like them, 18,000 wasn't a number they could casually shrug off. At first, they didn't believe it. They double-checked the math, triple-checked, till they could no longer deny the total was correct. Alicia bit her lip, her voice lowered. 18,000. I don't have that kind of money, right? Now, Ava's expression shifted. Panic set in. Don't worry, sis. I'll help. This loser might have taken advantage of you, but how you treat him now could affect what the heartthrob thinks of you. Even if we have to borrow from loan sharks, we'll pay it off. You have to cut ties with this poor guy if you want to marry into a wealthy family. And slowly, Alicia nodded. She was swayed. She nodded and said, Okay, we'll find a way to borrow it. My family mustn't find out. If they knew, my parents would kill me. I didn't know what to say. If 18,000 was enough to terrify her, what would happen when the nearly 100,000 repair bill for the sports car landed at her doorstep? Hey, parents wouldn't just scold her, they might want to grind her bones to dust. Alicia and Eva immediately sprang into action, calling and messaging people, scrambling to borrow money. To my surprise, it actually went quite smoothly. Classmates chipped in, some lending a few hundred, others a little more. Piece by piece, the amount started building. Even Alicia seemed stunned by how easily it came together. I must have a good reputation, she said, amazed. Everyone's willing to lend me money. Eva laughed. It's not your reputation. It's your selfies. You're sitting in a luxury sports car worth millions. Of course people want to help you. They think they're befriending your rich boyfriend. Alicia paused, then smiled smugly. She glanced at me and said, See that? That's the power of a real man. He doesn't just keep a woman happy. Makes everyone around admire her. If I were still with you, would anyone even bother helping me? Eva added coldly. Help? Being with you is already the biggest misfortune she's suffered. They kept borrowing until they'd scraped together over 8,000. They were still short, 10,000 more to go. Eva clenched her teeth and said, I know a guy from the underworld. He can lend us the rest. But if we can't pay it back, it'll get ugly. Alicia grew uneasy. What happens if we can't repay it? Don't worry about that, Eva replied quickly. Your new boyfriend's so rich 10,000 is nothing to him. Without hesitation, Eva contacted her connection, a man who seemed more like a private loan shark than anything else. He handed over 10,000 in cash without batting an eye. Finally, they had the full amount. They shoved it into my hands. Alicia threw the phone at me, her face burning with pride and fury. They're satisfied now. Take it and get lost. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. I nodded and turned toward Lisa. Can you come out with me for a moment? She blinked, surprised, clearly unsure why I was asking. Before she could answer, Ava's sneer cut through the air. I knew these two had something going on. She was just waiting for Alicia to pay him off so she could take over. A wave of helplessness washed over me, the real reason I wanted to speak to Lisa was because she worked in the student council and had access to the contact directory. If I was going to send a court summons to Alicia's family, I needed their address. Lisa flushed, eyes wide, but she lowered her head and followed me out. Eva barked after her, "You're really going with him? You actually think you're worthy? You're just scavenging Alicia's leftovers." Lisa's voice trembled as she turned back. "I have no such intentions." But Eva cursed again. "Pretentious coquette. Keep pretending. No wonder your family's poor, it's in your blood. Look at you, fawning over a guy who hands out flyers. You have zero standards. No wonder your parents are nobodies." Alicia crossed her arms and gave one last sneer. "Good thing I dumped him. Now he's yours. Here's some advice. A whore and a dog, may they last forever." I didn't look back. I led Lisa quietly down the hallway. Her voice was soft beside me. "I only spoke up back there because I was angry. Don't read too much into it. I just want to study. I have no time for what they were implying." I nodded. "You're busy with tutoring scholarships. You've got too much on your plate for distractions like this." Then she asked, gently curious, "So, why did you want me to come out?" I looked her in the eye. "I know you have access to the contact directory. Can you give me Alicia's home address?" Lisa immediately tensed, panicking. "What are you planning to do? Please don't do anything reckless." She looked seriously worried. Eva grabbed my hand in her urgency, eyes locked on mine. Her voice was firm, almost pleading. "We may be poor, but we still have dignity. I know they've wronged you, but don't throw your future away because of someone else's mistakes." For a moment, I couldn't speak. The hallway fell silent. I stood there, unsure how to respond. Did she think I was planning revenge? Then she realized she was still holding my hand. Her eyes widened, and the moment hung in the air, certain, quiet, real. She quickly let go of my hand, her cheeks flushing. "You're hardworking and determined. You deserve a better life. I really believe that. In 10 years, Alicia will regret everything she's done." I looked at her and replied quietly, "It won't take 10 years. I've already had the dealership assess the damage. If her family lives in the city, she'll regret it very soon." Lisa blinked, confused. "What do you mean?" I paused, then said, "The sports car parked downstairs. It's mine." She stared at me, completely stunned. I explained everything, how the accident happened, how I had kept silent all this time, and how the damage wasn't minor at all. Lisa was speechless. It wasn't until I showed her the car registration that the truth finally sank in. When she went to retrieve the contact directory, she walked off in a daze like she was in a dream she hadn't fully woken up from. Soon after, she sent me Alicia's home address. Oddly enough, it turned out to be just a few kilometers from the dealership. What a coincidence, or maybe fate playing its hand. I called the dealership, and they said the damage report would be ready in 10 minutes. But then something struck me. Alicia had returned her phone. How was I supposed to reach her later? To collect the debt, I decided, for now, I'd return the phone. When I returned to the dorm, Alicia's face darkened. "Why are you back again?" she snapped. I held out the phone. "I know you don't have one right now. Just borrow this for a few days." Eva clutched her chest and dramatically faked a gag. "Ugh, I'm going to puke." I knew it too. Doing this on purpose? Playing some pathetic on-again, off-again drama? Alicia glared at me. "But do you really think I'm that stupid? Stop pestering me. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends." Just then, Ava's phone rang. She pulled it out and frowned. "Why are your parents calling me Alicia?" I froze. The dealership was fast. It seemed her parents couldn't reach her and had called Eva instead. Alicia snatched the phone. "Mom, what's wrong?" She didn't put the call on speaker, but her mother's voice was loud enough for everyone to hear. "Don't call me, Mom. Do you know how much your father and I earn? You've ruined us." The room fell silent. Alicia's face went pale. "Mom, what did I do?" she stammered, confused. She walked to the far corner of the dormitory with the phone pressed tightly to her ear. As she listened, her expression slowly crumbled, and then she burst into tears. Eva rushed over. "Sis, what happened?" Choking back sobs, Alicia cried. "I know why that guy suddenly turned on me. I dented his car just by sitting on it. Now he wants my family to pay. The estimate is 137,000. Where are we going to find that kind of money? Ava's jaw dropped. What? Just from sitting on it? That can't be real. It's real, Alicia wept. The bill was delivered to our house. My mom took a picture of it and sent it to me. I'm supposed to check my phone. She sank onto the edge of the bed, her whole body trembling. Eva bit her lip, trying to think. Don't panic. Maybe there's still a way out. Alicia wiped her eyes. What do you mean? Eva hesitated, then said quietly, we need to check if you're pregnant, if you are. And it's his child. Would he really dare to demand money from you? Alicia's eyes widened. Right? Even if he doesn't care about me, he has to care about the baby. Right? Ava's voice picked up, excited now. If he still pushes you to pay, just go make a scene at his house. No rich family wants a scandal involving a child. Alicia let out a long sigh. I was hoping to use the baby to marry into a wealthy family, who would have thought it'd just be used to cover repair costs. Eva tried to comfort her. Hey, 100 grand is no joke. It'd take your parents at least 2 years to make that much. And who says you still can't marry into a rich family? What if his parents step in? What if they insist you to get married and not only do they waive the damages, maybe they even give you a car? I stood there, quietly listening. Of me wondered if I should say something, out of old affection, out of the part of me that still cared, 'cause pregnant or not. Having a child wouldn't excuse someone from repaying damage, not when the bill was real. I opened my mouth to speak. But before I could say anything, Alicia shot me a venomous glare. She stormed over, snatched the phone from my hand and snapped. Don't say a word. Just get lost. I don't want to hear your voice. I'm already in a terrible mood, Eva added sharply, her tone laced with impatience. Yeah, can you just leave? We're trying to figure out how. To calm the heartthrob down? I tried to keep my composure. How about you read the documents first? Eva snapped. Get lost, loser. We have nothing to say to you. If you keep pestering Alicia, we'll accuse you of harassment and take you to court. A slight nod if that's what she wanted. Fine. We'd be seeing each other in court anyway. Alicia had already picked up her phone and was sending a voice message to the heartthrob. Please come downstairs to my dorm. I want to talk to you. Please. He responded quickly, and she played the voice message aloud. His voice came through, cold and venomous. Sure, you slut. I want to talk to you too. Come down now. Alicia set her phone down, her face anxious. With that attitude. Lots do. You think he'll really forgive me? Eva said firmly. Go down there and beg him. I'll go with you. She helped Alicia to her feet, shooting a glare in my direction. Get out of the way. I ignored her and turned to leave the dorm. Just as I was about to head downstairs, Lisa returned. Alicia and Eva walked past her, striding ahead of us. Lisa, walking beside me, asked quietly, will you make Alicia pay a lot of money? I shook my head. I'm not going to extort her. She should pay what she owes. But I'm still thinking. She glanced at me. Thinking what? I said simply, it feels like you're begging the wrong person. Don't you think it's going to be awkward? When we got downstairs, the heartthrob was already there. What stood out most was the bright red slap mark on his face. He stood by the roadside, wiping his tears, clearly crying. If I had to. Guess he must have told his dad what happened, received some fatherly discipline for it. Alicia and Eva froze at the sight. Eva whispered, stunned. Seriously? With all that money his family has? This is how he reacts, Alicia murmured. Maybe he really loves that car. Remember when we went out, he always treated it with so much care. Eva sighed. They say a car is a man's second wife. I guess that's true. I rolled my eyes. I don't treat my car like a wife. But of course he'd protect Ayatid's mine. Alicia walked up to him quickly, putting on a pitiful look. Baby, let me explain. Explain to your grandfather. You bitch. The heartthrob snapped. He suddenly lunged forward, grabbed Alicia by the hair, and slapped her hard across the face. Neither Alicia nor Eva had expected this. Eva screamed and rushed to pull him back, but Alicia, dazed and hurt, cried out, Baby, hit me if you're angry. It's my fault. I'll never do it again. Just let me make it up to you for the rest of my life. But he was beyond reason. I don't need your compensation, he roared, and then started punching her over and over in the face. It was then that both Alicia and Eva realized this wasn't just an angry boyfriend. Something was seriously wrong. The students around us were frozen, shocked. Just minutes ago, Alicia had stepped out of a luxury car, admired by everyone. Now, in front of the same crowd, she was being beaten, dragged. By her hair, her face bloodied by the heartthrob who once worshipped her. Eva screamed, panic in her voice. "Stop! You're hitting her too hard, she's a girl." But he didn't stop. One final blow knocked out one of Alicia's front teeth. She gasped, covering her mouth in horror, blood spilling through her fingers. She bent down, trembling, to pick up the tooth. "Stop. Stop hitting me. My tooth's gone." "Eva, go get some milk." I nodded calmly. "Smart. If you put a knocked-out tooth in milk quickly, there's still a chance it can be reattached." Lisa turned to me, horrified. "Are you enjoying this?" I shook my head slowly. Enjoying it? How could I? We were in love once, seeing her like this. "It hurts." She narrowed her eyes. "Then why are you smiling?" I smiled faintly. "I'm just naturally cheerful. People who smile often tend to have good luck." And in the middle of all that pain, all that chaos, Alicia finally remembered me, covering her mouth. Alicia looked at me with tears in her eyes and cried out, "You're really not a man. Look at what he did to me. You still won't help." I answered calmly, "You told me not to harass you? Said we'd meet in court. I'm just respecting that." The heartthrob who had looked completely unhinged just moments ago finally seemed to notice me when I spoke. He let go of Alicia and began walking toward me. Eva, clearly panicking, jumped in quickly. "Heartthrob, I know you're angry, but do you even realize how much Alicia has suffered for you? That loser over there was bullying her just now. If she didn't love you this much, would she have put up with all this?" Cut her off with a furious shout. "Shut up! Your whole family are losers." Eva fell silent instantly. It was strange. Just minutes ago she was bold and aggressive with me, but now, faced with her wealthy idol, she turned quiet and submissive. The heartthrob stood right in front of me, waited, half expecting some kind of dramatic apology. But what he did next took everyone by surprise. He dropped to his knees. In front of everyone, trembling, eyes brimming with tears, he cried out, "Bro, I'm sorry. Please, forgive me." For a moment, the world stood still. Everyone stared at us in stunned silence. Students were frozen in place. Eva trembled, speechless. Lisa stood still, head lowered. Alicia, still clutching her mouth, blood now dripping from her nose, tried to sniff it back but choked, coughing painfully. No one had expected this. To be honest, not even I did. I let out a breath and said quietly, "If you knew it would come to this, why'd you do it in the first place?" Eva looked at him, confused and dazed. "Why are you apologizing to him?" I turned to him gently and asked, "Yeah, why don't you tell everyone why you're apologizing to me?" Still crying, the heartthrob confessed, "I shouldn't have stolen your car just to show off. I shouldn't have stolen your girlfriend. I'm disgusting. I told my dad everything, but he said our family's already struggling to pay rent. We can't afford the damages." I nodded and said, "Your dad works hard. That's why I sent my car to your family's repair shop in the first place. Who would have thought a man like him would raise a son like you?" The heartthrob broke down even more. "I'll never do it again. Please, if you give us some time to pay, I'll do anything. I swear." Alicia stood frozen. She muttered, stunned. "Repair shop? Car maintenance? Stolen car?" I looked at her. "The facts are right in front of you." She turned toward the sports car, pointing at it with trembling fingers. "That car, it's yours." I nodded slowly. "Yes, it's mine." Her face went pale. Her lips quivered. And then all at once, she burst into tears. How? How can you be the rich one? Weren't you just the flyer guy?" I answered plainly, "I do hand out flyers. But there, from my shops." Ignoring the blood from her nose and the sharp gap where her tooth had been, Alicia hobbled toward me, sobbing. She clutched my arm desperately. "Baby, let me explain." I shook her off, my tone cold. "I'm not your..." "Baby, we're already over." Then I placed a firm hand on the heartthrob's shoulder. He flinched slightly, looking up at me with pleading eyes. I said, "This isn't your father's fault. It's yours. In fact, I should thank you because you showed me who she really is. You helped me, so I'll help you just this once." I paused, then added, "You'll graduate next year. We can negotiate a compensation amount, and once you start working, I'll let you repay it over 3 years." He blinked. "Really?" I nodded. "Yes, it's your debt knot. Your father's but." I glanced at Alicia, knocking out her front tooth. "That's going to cost you." His face darkened. "I'm not paying a damn cent," he growled. "At worst, I'll go to jail. I'll have a record. Whatever. I'm not becoming a civil servant anyway." I raised an eyebrow. "So you'd rather go to jail than pay a cent for her?" He looked me dead in the eye. "Yes, that bitch doesn't deserve my money." I clapped a hand on his shoulder and laughed. "See, now you're thinking straight. I'll wave $1,000 as a reward." And behind us, Alicia stood there in complete shock. She whimpered, "Baby, I was really wrong. Can't you give me another chance? It's all. And suddenly she spun around and pointed at Eva, screaming, "It's all because of this bitch." Eva stood still, her face empty, expressionless. Alicia broke down again. "You told me to do it. I loved my boyfriend so much. Why did I fall for your tricks?" I'd had enough of her performance. I said coldly, "Just remember to take the morning after pill. Not because I care about you, but because I know with your kind of personality, you'd definitely get an abortion if you ended up pregnant. I don't want an innocent life to be killed before it ever sees the world. Just because of you?" Alicia's face turned ghostly pale. Then out of nowhere, Eva started crying. "Aren't you going to repay the money I helped you borrow?" Alicia snapped, turning on her like a wild animal. "You caused all this? Why the hell should I pay you back?" Eva broke down completely. "If I don't repay it, I'll be beaten to death," I replied casually. "Well, if you're that scared of owing money to a loan shark, then pay it back." Eva cried harder. "Where am I supposed to find 10,000? Lisa, who had been watching everything quietly, finally exploded, her fists clenched in rage. "You mocked me for eating food off a table. But your own family can't even scrape together 10,000. You're poor too, so why do you look down on other poor people? You deserve this." Eva collapsed onto the ground, sobbing so hard her body shook. I turned to Alicia with a calm smile. "Goodbye. And unless it's about paying me back, don't contact me again. Otherwise, I'll file for harassment." Then I looked at Lisa and offered, "Well, now that the bitch has been punished, how about we grab a meal to celebrate? You can ride in my car." Lisa stared at me. "Are you drunk in broad daylight? Why would I get in your car or have dinner with you?" She had a point. Scratching my nose awkwardly, I got in my sports car and drove away. Eventually, Alicia and the Hearthrob's family reached a deal. Both families agreed to split the compensation. But Alicia didn't get off easy. It said her parents beat her half to death when she got home. One of her legs was actually broken. She had to wear a cast. Worst of all, the leg didn't heal. Right, she walked with a limp after that, and might even need to have it rebroken to heal properly. Too ashamed, she never came back for her final year of college. Eva, on the other hand, did return, but every time she stepped on campus. People mocked her, calling her a traitor to the poor. Desperate to pay back the loan shark, she tried everything to find a job. But her reputation followed her. No one wanted to hire her. In the end, she came to me, begging for work. I had a few low-end restaurants, so I gave her a job cleaning toilets. She used to look down on the poor. Now she was scrubbing toilets for them. She cried while cleaning. But that didn't stop the rumors. Word got around, and some students even came to my restaurant specifically after she finished cleaning, just to use the bathroom again and make her clean it a second time. Alicia, after dropping out, kept messaging me, always begging to get back together. I blocked her. She'd just use a different number and keep texting. Eventually, I gave her what she wanted. I sued her. That finally scared her off. She stopped reaching out after that. As for Lisa and me, nothing ever happened. She was different and dependent, self-disciplined, not like Alicia or her circle. During our last year of college, Lisa didn't contact me at all. After graduation, she returned to her hometown to become a teacher. She said there were many poor kids there who needed help. She wanted to be that help. I admired her for that. I reached out to her a few times, but she wasn't interested in dating. The only time she asked me for anything was to see if I could help organize a clothing drive for the children. I donated some old clothes. After that, we lost touch. But I often think about what she once said, about dignity. That remarkable girl. I hope her life takes her far.